Isn't this exciting? We have such a big turnout. Love it. Welcome to everyone, all the Lifewave practitioners and our guests. Just wonderful. As we begin, in beginning, I'm going to just read the intention for this call, which is we are here to connect and brainstorm with like-minded professionals, both active members in Lifewave and guests. Many among us are seeing a decline in our businesses and are eager for pertinent guidance on how to increase our bottom line and support others in this chaotic and tumultuous time. There are great opportunities to be had, and Lifewave is definitely one of the best for immunity and wellness. Okay, that's our intention. And again, thank you for being here. I'm going to introduce my other two co-hosts, who are the main stars of the show. Robin Blank-Mascari, who is a colleague, mentor, and friend, who trained with Stephen Covey over 30 years ago.
Can you see me?
No.
Good.
And has expansive experience and success in coaching, personal relationships,
Oh, hold on a second. Lori, we lost your volume. So, okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so that's okay. I get to do your intro again.
We'll figure this out. So okay.
That's okay. That's fine. Anyway, Robin has been for a long time a great mentor, friend, and colleague of mine. She trained with Stephen Covey over 30 years ago and has expansive, and I mean expansive, experience and success in coaching, personal relationships, and networking. Dr. Nicholas, who many of you, if not all of you, know, has been a chiropractor for 21 years and discovered Lifewave 11 years ago during a health crisis, which he will tell you about. He has been patching himself and others ever since. His leadership and accessibility for all of us is unparalleled. His detailed support has been a rare blessing. So I'm going to turn the webinar over to Robin to give us some insight and details about Lifewave.
Thank you, Lori. And one of the greatest compliments I think you can give someone is, it's all your fault. So because of Lori, we're all here today, and thank you so much for initiating this. We thought that this would be a wonderful resource while we're home, how we can be learning and productive and share some things of value. And specifically, we wanted to address all of you healthcare practitioners that really have this servant's heart and want to really be of service to your clients and your patients, and are challenged right now because you can't see people. And I do want to make sure everyone has your phone muted. So please, down at the bottom, mute your phone. That would be very helpful to me. We have several people that are not muted, and that would be great. I'm going to try to mute them. I'm going to try to do technology at the same time. So what I'd like to do is just briefly share. I got involved with Lifewave in 2018 as a customer. I was having some severe pain, and I was actually researching stem cell injections. And one day I got a call from a friend who said there's a historic breakthrough in technology in affordable stem cell activation. I said, I want it now, because I was willing to pay $12,500 with no guarantee to help me. And what happened was nothing short of miraculous. And I'm the kind of person, when I find something that is helpful, I can't not share it. And so I started sharing. And then the sharing kept growing and growing and growing to the point that I realized this is too good to not share at a wider level. So I started doing the business. And now I started in the end of February of last year. And now it's a little over a year, and over 10,000 people have been served by these products because of my you know, pain in my knee. So I'm so grateful, and I want to thank each of you for being here, and any of you guests that are looking at Lifewave for the first time. I want to do a brief overview. I'm just going to be really simple about it to give you a little history of the company. Lifewave has been around for 15 years. The initial technology was created on a government contract for the Navy SEALs by David Schmidt, our founder, inventor, and genius scientist. And the original patch was designed to help the Navy SEALs when they're stuck in their little mini subs for days on end, to be able to not have to use, you know, stimulants and chemicals to stay awake. And it's called the Energy Enhancer Patch. It's our first patch. It was very successful. Then 9/11 happened and everything changed with the government. And so David was inspired by someone to actually create a vehicle to share these with the world. And that Energy Enhancer Patch got discovered by athletes. And I'm not going to go into the detail, but it's a great story. And it was discovered that the patch actually increased strength, stamina, and performance, and decreased recovery time. And if you go to the bottom of lifewave.com into the newsroom, you will see athletes from just about every sport you can possibly imagine all over the world, NFL, NBA, Olympians, using this patch as what they call their secret weapon. And so David, our genius founder, inventor, scientist, is a science. He's a scientist first and foremost, and there are over 80 clinicals backing up our technology and our patches. He has over 100 patents and patent pendings. And so we feel really, really, really blessed to be able to share these proven resources with the world. So what I'd like to do is turn things over and bring in Dr. Nicholas, who is my sponsor, and I have learned a tremendous amount from him. He's been patching people for over 11 years. He's patched thousands and thousands of people. Every time I talk to him, I learn something new, and we're so grateful that he's with us today. So I'm just going to ask him to get started and share a little bit about how you got involved with Lifewave, Dr. Nicholas.
Sure, I'd be glad to. So yeah, 11 and a half years ago, Dr. Jonah and I were in practice in Tucson, and she was having health issues that were just mind-boggling. We were trying different things alternatively, medically. We're living a healthy lifestyle, and it was still not getting better. It was getting worse. She was losing memory. She was having eyesight issues, digestive issues, whole body pain issues. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And so one day, one of our patients came into her office and showed her an article that was written in Life Extension magazine by Suzanne Summers. And she was talking about light therapy. And we just got into using lights with laser therapy in our practice. And getting good results, but nothing that was like life-changing to her health. So it was just something we were using to help her be able to still continue to practice, because she would see a patient and literally have to lay down after seeing them and then get back up. So she would see people like every 15, 20 minutes, but she'd have a break in between. So that was her day. So when we read the article, Suzanne Summers said she just had written a book called Breakthrough: 8 Steps to Wellness. So Joan was a big avid reader. So she's like, let's go get this book. It sounds interesting. And we started reading the book, and basically it was an interview between Suzanne Summer and different types of medical doctors that were doing alternative or holistic non-pharmaceutical therapies. And they were really controversial then. So you think about, they were talking about stem cell therapy then. They were talking about bioidentical hormones. They were talking about a lot of different nutritions to help heal the body from a lot of really, really interesting diseases. So we went through the chapters, and as we were going through them, we were trying different things and seeing if it would help her. And nothing was doing it. So the second to last chapter in the book, we were literally sitting in a seminar on laser therapy with, they were talking about, all the benefits of glutathione nutrition and omega-3 fish oil. So we're reading the chapter of Lifewave at that point. And here we are reading about, they have a patch that will elevate your body's glutathione levels 300% up in 24-hour period. And I'm like, this is crazy. This is like medically unheard of. So, but it's that one if it works. So we, read through the chapter, looked in the back of the book, and Lifewave's phone number's right there. And we called Lifewave that day and said, hey, we want to try this stuff. And they said, well, who told you about it? And I said, Suzanne Summers. And they said, well, you have to sign up under somebody. And it never dawned on me it was network marketing. Okay. So I just said, whatever that means, I just need the product. I want to try this stuff. And so we ordered a lot of it because I figured she'd use it all because it was just amazing. And we ordered all the patches because we thought, well, she had needed help from all of them. And we got the product and started patching her, and she didn't feel anything. It was very stressful because we wanted this big experience and nothing happened. So we put patches on, I put more on, I call it the wallpaper effect. When in doubt, try more, and it can't hurt the body. The body will only take what it needs. And so she started to, throughout the day, just slowly get a little bit different. It wasn't something she even noticed. It's like one of those things you just slowly start becoming yourself again and don't even realize it. And so I didn't see her till the end of the day, and I walk in her office to see how she was, doing. And usually she's laying down pretty miserable, ready to go to bed. And she was standing up, and she was telling me about her day and talking about a patient, reading through a file. And she's like, I'm sitting there, I was in shock. I was really like going, what the heck's going on here? I couldn't understand it. And I said, do you feel okay? And she says, I feel great. Let's go out. I'm like, whoa, let's back up here. This is not your normal. So, and I couldn't really put it to the patches because it didn't seem like it really did anything. So I just thought, okay, this is one of those things where you go through those highs right before you pass. I literally was thinking that. So I said, let's just chill, go home and see if you notice anything later, and we'll see what happens. So the next day, she literally is staring, looking around the ceiling, very strange look. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what's wrong now? And she's telling me I can see better. I'm like, what do you mean? She says, all of my floaters are gone. And she had hundreds of them. Okay. So she was very concerned about losing her eyesight, and now it's all gone. So I'm sitting there going, holy cow, what in the heck is going on there? I didn't have anybody to talk to. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just very excited and very grateful. So we go back to work, and all of our patients are asking us, what the heck's up with Joan? What'd you do to her? And I said, I don't know. I didn't. I said, put these on and tell me what you feel. And literally one by one, people were getting very, very dramatic changes. And some of them were in front of my eyes, which I'd never seen anything like that. And being in practice at that time, 12 and a half years. So I was very like animated and excited. And people were like, oh my gosh, I want to tell other people. And we had all these influx of referrals from it. And it just took our practice to a new level. Now, this wasn't back in 2008 when the economy was really, really hurting still after the housing market crash. So our practice was slower, but in 1 month, we had an increase of referrals by 25%. And then we sold all of our patches in like 3 days. And the crazy part was everybody was asking us, can I sign up? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like telling me it's network marketing. And I'm saying, oh my God, this is going to kill my practice. Because I thought, I only heard the horror stories. I'd never actually been in a company before. I just hear the people who said it's a, whatever negative stuff. I won't even say the words. And so I thought, well, let's just trust it and let it go, because it happened for a reason to come to our life. So it was meant to be. So as Robin was saying, time to share it with a lot of people. We shared it with a lot of people, and they shared it with a lot of people, and it really took off. So it didn't hurt our practice. It increased our clinical outcomes dramatically. People were just healthier. They were happier. They were getting changes they wanted, and it was affordable. Okay. So that's my spiel on telling other practitioners. It's counterintuitive when you think if it's going to work this good, you think it's going to hurt your practice. It's just the opposite. It just makes your practice work better. So, but that's how we got involved. And so like I said, we were signing people up, and the company was calling us, asking us what we were doing, because we were signing a lot of people up. And I really didn't have an answer. I just said, these products work. So are we doing something wrong? And they were laughing, saying, no, we just had never seen anything like this. And I said, well, and they knew we didn't have any experience in doing networking. We were just practitioners, and we just shared it a lot, and the product delivered results. So let's see, my video went off there. There we go. Sorry about that, Robin. Anyway, so that's how we got started. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Well, your story is like, we all have our stories with all of this, and it's amazing. And you said some incredible things. A lot of us that don't understand this profession have a judgment about it. And I know when people have a judgment about network marketing, they just don't understand it. And my husband, Gregory, says, once you fall in love with network marketing, there's no known cure. And so it changed your life, it changed your practice, and you started integrating the patches into your practice. And so how has that made a difference in your business? You
Well,
shared a little bit about
yeah,
referrals, but
the
go a little bit
practice did
further.
really well. So we talked about it. We said, let's just see if we should really look into this business model. And so Joan was a management consultant for years, and she kind of worked for herself, and that was her business anyway. And so it had a lot of freedom. Okay. So this, we looked at, well, this has a lot of freedom in it if it's done correctly. And we thought, well, let's work it part-time for 1 year and see if we can make an income at all, because we didn't know if it would sustain or not. So we did it, and we did pretty well, and we were thought, okay, let's do it 1 more year and see if this is legit. So we did our homework, and we started really researching the business model, because that's the thing. It's the business model can apply to any product. So we just truly looked into it. It's legit. It's just got the negative stuff on the people who just don't work it properly and consistently. That's where the magic happens. It's called compound interest. We did it for 2 years, and we were okay to sell our practice and go into it full time. And so the business now, to me, is like the best thing in the world, because you get the sense of freedom, security, and safety that I never had in practice. Because when my practice went down, when Joan got sick, it was all up to me. And if I didn't show up, we didn't get paid at all. So that's how it was. So now I don't have to work, and I'm still making the same income. But I love doing this, and I love working with people because I want them to see what I see. But it took me a while to get past all the stuff. That's the roadblocks that people go through to say, oh, it's not a real business. It absolutely is the most real business. It's the most legitimate business. And it's probably the most beautiful business for the flexibility and freedom, because when we were working, we worked our butts off, and we were just like, we struggled like any business, but it was still like work, work, work. You had to go to work. Now we get to go to work. We don't have to work. I can work outside my backyard if I want to. I can go to Hawaii and work. It's that kind of freedom. So you're almost like on vacation with a paycheck is what it feels like.
Well, I love how you say that. And it's wonderful to hear your journey as a healthcare practitioner, because what we have on the line is lots of healthcare practitioners that aren't able to be in physical proximity of their clients and patients right now. So what would you recommend for them as far as, learning more about Lifewave, learning about the business? Because you went through quite a learning curve from being very judgmental, like, oh my gosh, it's network marketing, it's going to ruin my practice, to absolutely 180 degrees falling in love with this business model. How did you get there, and what would you recommend to people that are watching and listening about that transition that you made?
Well, first off, since we're in a situation we're all in, one product or two products that be very, very beneficial for your own health and all of your patients or your clients. And this is the thing, you don't have to put them on them personally to do it. They can do it themselves. I sell this to patients as homework. That's the beauty of it. So if they can't come in, I can drop ship it to them, and then they can apply it themselves. Very easy to do. And you can do it through a phone call or like a Zoom call if you have to show them. But again, super easy to do. So I personally thought, Robin, that like when I wanted to make that transition, it was such a big psychological change for me that I was like, is this really good? Is this really legit? So I tell everybody, do your homework, research the company. What's cool is it's 15 years old. It's pretty solid. Most companies don't make it past 5 years. So we have a 15-year-old company that has a startup feel, but it's in 120 countries. It's got legitimate science that's backed by evidence-based. It's on PubMed. It is patented. All these things make it legitimate and real. And Lifeway spends a lot of money doing that research to legitimize it, because of the things that you hear about products, companies that come and go and just sell a lot of hype. They're not selling hype at all. Okay. So, and then for me, when I was already following Suzanne Summers, a believer, they said the two most controversial women in the world was Oprah Winfrey and Suzanne Summers. And so we were very much into following her. So it gave us a little bit of peace of mind, like it's got to be real, you know, she's interviewing this guy. So that was the kind of things for us that we encourage other practitioners to say, do your research, make sure you feel comfortable with it, start using it for yourself personally. And if you get the changes, you'll want to share it with your patients. It's just a no-brainer. But you really, really at this time want to try to get it on your most challenging patients. It's really crucial because we've seen it do so many great healings that help the body, support the body in any type of situation or crisis. But especially now, it would be really the most important time to get these on people. And the cool part is the company's in California, and everything in California is completely shut down unless it's essential. Lifewave is open because it is essential. So the reason meaning it does help support your health. Okay, so that's the cool part about you can still get it, it's still shipped to you, you can still get the health benefits of it.
Beautiful. Well, now we start talking about patches. So I want to transition into two different directions with patches. One is I want to start out with asking, right now with what we're dealing with, what would you recommend for everybody as far as the patches that can make the biggest difference in dealing with the current situation?
Sure. It's kind of a toss-up between these two. If you had to pick one, I'd probably start here. They just started a promotion today for the next 4 days till Sunday, where you can actually get 1 pack of these and 2 packs of these for $140. It's a pretty significant savings. So basically, they're giving this below cost, this one for the regular price, and an additional free one of these. So let me explain what these things do. So glutathione is my master antioxidant. We all have glutathione in our body, but as we get older and more stressed from environmental stresses, toxicities, it depletes, okay? And so glutathione is made in your skin, it's made in the lenses of your eye, it's made in your liver, and it's a detoxifier of heavy metals and chemicals, but it also does tremendous support to your immune system. And again, your immune system is all we have to fight off anything negative or environmental that is bad for our body. So again, this thing will raise your levels up 300% in 24 hours. Some up to 450%. It's very, very dramatic. So it's a really cool patch. This is really exciting because I mean it works and it helps you stay healthy. So here's X39. What the heck is X39 for people asking? So each patch has different wavelengths of frequencies. So X39 has a wavelength of frequency that says boost or not boost, elevate your GHK copper peptide. So GHK copper is a peptide that we already naturally have in our body, but it does something indirectly to your stem cells. Stem cells turn on, they go to where there's an inflammatory issue and start repairing damaged tissue. So it does other health benefits. So I won't go into it too deep, but I want you to look up GHK-CU in immune system. So you can literally see what is the effect of having this peptide already in our body. What does it do to help support our immune system? And it's a real eye opener. It really is an eye opener. So these are probably the 2 most important patches in this time of need. If you can only pick one of these two, these are it. My backup is Eon. Eon is an anti-stress, anti-inflammatory. We're all under stress. If you lower your stress hormones, your body's going to adapt to these environmental things a lot better. And Eon also is clinically proven to elevate SOD, which is another super powerful antioxidant, superoxide dismutase, which again supports the immune system. So those are the combinations of patches right now that I'm selling the most and promoting the heck out of.
All right. And that's the kind of thing we want to share with people, especially now. Now, as a practitioner, there's certain patches that, you know, when whether you've started or you're looking at getting started in Lifewave and you're deciding which package to get, there's, I'd love you to make some recommendations, Dr. Nicholas, of what to have in your kit as a practitioner. What are your go-to patches?
Yeah. So like yesterday I had a lady come in and I knew right away what I was going to be dealing with. So I pulled out my Lifewave patches. I pulled out my glutathione, my Eon, my X39. Those 4 are really the true main patches for pain management. Most of us all deal with somebody in pain. And it's not really hard to get someone out of pain. It's just keeping them out of pain. So Lifewave will reduce the temperature variations 4 degrees in 5 minutes, which increases circulation. Okay, you need to have circulation to heal. Those promote healing, not just pain relief. The glutathione, anti-inflammatory, and detoxification. also helps reduce pain. Eon, anti-stress, anti-inflammatory, helps reduce pain. X39 turns on stem cells. Stem cells are attracted to inflammation, reduces pain, accelerates tissue repair and healing. So probably the main ones would be those. And again, they all help you get well and stay well. But for most people, we're dealing with a lot of different people in pain. Those are the combinations that I probably sell the most
Beautiful.
and recommend. Yeah.
So before we open up to the audience to get a few testimonials and get your questions, and by the way, you can put your questions in the chat section. That will really help us. But we'd love to hear a few anything else you want to share before we open things up, Dr. Nicholas?
No, I mean, this is the time right now to ask the questions. We'll do our best to answer them. We're not going to get into any diseases. We're only going to talk about symptoms if you want to ask me those kind of things, and I'll give you my best answer to what I know about how to use Lifewave to help you. And there's a lot of things we can do to help our immune system right now, but let's just focus on the patches and we'll keep it at that.
Great. And there's one thing we didn't talk about very much. You inferred it, but I want to make sure we share this. And what I share with people is we have at Lifewave what people want and need right now. Mm-hmm. We have products that can enhance people's health and well-being and support their immune system. We have an opportunity for people to develop an income at home. Everyone's at home. And you can supplement your income. And like what Dr. Nicholas was talking about, he developed a wonderful residual income. There's income coming in whether he's working or not. But he can't not stop working because this is, I shifted from being a customer to starting the business to really shifting into this being truly a sense of responsibility to let people know that this technology exists. And we also have a community. And we know so many people are suffering from isolation right now. They miss being together. And we love these technology tools like Zoom where we can be together and share. And you could do this one-on-one with your patients and clients. You could do Skype or FaceTime or whatever to share. But there's a way, we really encourage people to be connected, and we've got an amazing community of people that are true servant leaders, people that care about the well-being of others, and it starts at the top of our company. That promotion, and I do want to mention this goes through Sunday, and it's there's a leadership group of the global mastermind from all over the world and the top leaders of the company that get together every week with the founder, owner, David Schmidt, and VP of Marketing and Director of Marketing to look at how can we be a helping hand. And that's where this promotion was born from, that you can buy the X39 and glutathione at a reduced rate, get a free glutathione, and they invite you to give that away, to share it with someone you know that needs to have support in their immune system. So at this time, Lori, do you have anyone that's set up to share any testimonials? And if those of you that are on the line have a testimonial to share, and we're going to take a few testimonials from those of you that are practitioners involved in Lifewave, and then we're going to open up for questions. And I see the questions coming in, so wonderful.
Okay, well, I'm going to invite Katrina. You're welcome to put on your video. Why don't you share your testimony with us? We'd love that.
Let's see if I could find her.
And you have to unmute. You have to unmute.
Okay, yeah, I was playing
great.
around with
and
the
you
background.
have to unmute.
I was playing around with the background. Now it looks like my hair is green. So it's really nice.
It looks good.
I was just having fun with that. So anyway, I'll be brief because I know people want to get on, but I'm a certified light therapist, and I've been repping alternative healthcare technologies to practitioners for 10 years, and I've been involved in healthcare technology for about 25 years. Before that I did surgical technology, and so I have been using near infrared and far infrared, and the technologies that I've been selling, this is blowing me away, what the patches can do, because it's just faster, better, cheaper, and that's the only way I can say it. It's the efficacy is there. You can put the patch on and you can feel it. and right away. And it's an exciting time in my business right now because I do orthopedic body work and I touch people all day long. And now I can't, or now it's a little more difficult, let's just say, for the time being. But I'm busier than ever because now I have a way to treat people remotely. So I'm seeing this as a boom right now, not a slump, not at all a slump. It's a boom for alternative healthcare and for light therapy. And I feel like the patches really bring in a lot of, they kind of combine all the technologies that I've been working with over the years and just do it better, faster, cheaper. And in my own body, I've experienced just some miracles that I won't go into right now to get me through this kind of difficult time. Questions?
Lori, you're next.
Great. Yeah, let's have Michelle Niels.
You got to unmute.
You got to unmute, and if you want to put your video on, sure. Great.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I've been using X39 since July of last year. And I'm one of these people that's been relatively healthy, very healthy, actually. And so I was looking, I have had issues with insomnia. And there's a woman in the chat that asked about that, so maybe I'll take a moment to talk about that. But I would say the number one thing I've noticed is an overall feeling of well-being and a calmness in my energy throughout the day. So I don't have the ups and downs and the slumps, and absolutely mental clarity. Huge, huge. I remember right before I got introduced to X39, I was thinking, oh no, I think I might be starting to have some, senior moments or something. And I just couldn't pull vocabulary. I couldn't pull words. And within a month of being on the X39, I was finding that my brain, my cognitive function, my recall was just, snapping like it was, many years ago. As far as the insomnia that I have dealt with off and on for 20 years, pretty serious. I've had months, where I do fine, and then times where I don't do so well. And I have tried Silent Nights and Eon, and I recently added in the last month or so Alavita per Dr. Nicholas and Dr. Shauna, and applying the Alavita right here to the third eye point and helping the pineal gland to decalcify, I guess is what it is. Dr. Nicholas, maybe you can second that. And so the pineal gland has a lot to do with sleep. Robin has shared with me that, it depends on what your sleep issue is. Is it a busy mind? Is it hormonal? Is it pain? So to answer the question about insomnia, you have to really look at the whole picture. And I don't have pain. Sometimes I have a busy mind, but not often. So I have found that a combination of Silent Night, and I have tried different locations for it. So that's another thing I would advise anyone who's dealing with insomnia is try different placements. The Alavita, and then this is big, this is huge, and that is not having exposure to blue light about 2 hours before bed. So I have low blue light glasses, blue light blocking glasses that I can wear if I have to be on a screen. And that helps the melatonin production start to increase because your pineal gland is not getting shut down by the blue light. So those are some of my tips is, Alavita, Eon, and Silent Nights, and trying different placements, and then the low blue light blocking glasses. So thank you. I'm happy to be here. Hope that was helpful.
Okay, can you hear me? I guess you can. Could you share a little bit about your experience as a practitioner?
Me?
Before you leave?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I do. I have a nursing background. I haven't practiced nursing for quite a while. I also am a certified massage therapist and an energy healer. And in my practice, I have very successfully shared the X39 and the Icewave primarily. And it's really fun. I'm just so excited about Lifewave that I can't hold it back. So as Robin says, when you have a treasure like this, it's an imperative. It's almost a moral, ethical imperative to share it with people. And so when I have clients coming in, I will, do the assessment, and then I'll say, I'm doing this business with a breakthrough, historic breakthrough in stem cell technology, stem cell activation. And I would say most of the people are open, and I'll sometimes apply a patch before I start the treatment. Sometimes I wait until afterwards and I just send them home. I put a patch on them and send them home. And I have had a lot of people coming back to me and saying, one person in particular who called me, I gave him 3 patches to take home. And he called me after day 2 and left me a message and said, Michelle, I don't know what that was, but I want it, and I want it now. And he's had amazing, he's a wonderful 67-year-old with blood sugar issues. And he's been stabilized, and so he's a great success story. And then being in the field,
Michelle,
yeah.
We have several other testimonials.
Okay,
we want to get to them, and we want to get to people's questions. And I love listening to you. But let's move on, and let's have the few next testimonials be really brief so we can answer a bunch of questions. Okay?
That's great. Why don't Charisma, can you talk about how you felt your testimony when you first got on X39?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't be seen because the host has stopped my video. So I'll just speak and say that when I first started X39, it was in October of last year. And I was looking to get more clarity and more energy. And I was also dealing with some other issues that don't have any, of course, no diagnosis is for, but I had inflammation and so forth. So I started on the X39, and I noticed after the first day that I had more energy, and within a day or two, my mind was a lot more alert. And then after about the 5th day, I was able to take a walk with my daughter and beat her walking with her 2 dogs. I just had so much energy. And another thing that was interesting was that I felt what I felt was that the stem cells in my body were scanning my system. And so I felt little tingles and pinches in certain areas of my body. And then I felt this tingling around the patch and then down my arm in a couple of different places. And I felt like my body was being scanned. And then when I listened to a talk that Dr. Shauna had talked about, she also mentioned the same thing. And I knew that I wasn't imagining things.
Fantastic. Yes, it's fabulous. We're going to get to questions now.
So let me take over. And Dr. Nicholas, if you could go through the questions in the chat, I think that might be our most efficient way to do it. And I'll get the ball rolling until you're able to do that. The first one that came is, can you run out of stem cells? Thank you, Andrea. If someone starts using this early in life, can they exhaust all of them? So Dr. Nicholas.
Well, I don't think it would exhaust anything. And that's a great question. So I'll do my best because I'm not really sure in terms of so what the stem cell does, it's a cell that's sitting there hanging out, trying to decide what to become. An eye cell, a nose cell, a lung cell, a heart cell, a spleen cell. So what turns the stem cell on is inflammation, okay? So as we get older, we have more inflammation, less stem cells. So we're elevating this GHK copper peptide, which indirectly turns on the stem cells you have and makes them younger and act younger. And according to the studies and research, you'll take a skin cell and revert it back into a stem cell. So it's technically you're never going to run out of stem cells. So this is where we're actually talking about reversing the age of the body now, not slowing it down. It's truly reversing it. And the studies are showing that after being on the patch for at least 6 weeks, there's a 2-month reversal in the internal cardiovascular system. So that's kind of my best answer for you on that, Robin. I mean, I don't think it can exhaust them. I think it's like an innate intelligence. It just does what it's designed to do. And once they're turned into whatever cell they need to be into, what organ, whatever, then there's no stem cell there. But it's continuing to work. And here's the thing, the cool part is people over 70 no longer make stem cells or have stem cells or no longer make new regular cells. Cell division stops. Okay. So what we're seeing is once we elevate the peptide, it seems to be making something happen in people over 70, 80, 90 years old, getting absolutely mind-blowing changes. So elevating the peptide GHK copper has a very specific effect on either the skin cells reverting back into a stem cell. That's the best answer I can come up with on that.
Great. Thank you so much. That's really helpful because when we're babies, we have like 1 billion. And then when we're in our 30s, we have half left. And like you said, when we're 70s and beyond, that's why we, age faster and heal slower as we get older. And we have the tool to turn that around. Now, Peggy, I'd like you to clarify on business model before we get to you. So let's move to the next one. How does SP6 complete assist SP6 assist in weight management?
Well, it's really designed for food cravings. So if you can't stop eating, this is going to help you. It helps you with sugar cravings. So that's the part of the patch that's really dynamic for somebody with that issue. It's not truly for weight loss. It's really just for craving issues. We've seen people use it for trying to quit smoking, to any kind of craving, and it really seems to affect the same part of the brain, which is your hypothalamus, that it has that effect to curb the craving issues. So if you're truly trying to lose weight and can't stop eating, this will help cut it down to where I've had people say they had to remember to eat because they just don't feel hungry at all anymore.
Oh, great. Thank you. And Charisma asked, what patches work best for the eyes?
Well, okay, so before X39 came out, glutathione and carnosine are very, very powerful for, I think, pretty much any eye condition. I've seen people get every eye condition you can think of get better with just using those two patches. And so you can put them on top of each other or one night on one eye and then switch to the other. And that's what people are doing over an eye mask, and that seems to really support healing the eyes. X39 now has been doing some really dramatic stuff as well. So again, I'm just going to give you a good, better, best kind of thinking that if you want to go all for it, get all three of them. I don't think you necessarily need to put the X39 over your eyes. I've seen people just wearing it and they say it's helping improve their eyesight dramatically and really fast. So you can kind of start with that and see what happens or go with the combination.
Beautiful. I know that Dr. Shauna's 92-year-old mother was losing her eyesight, and she's been using the patches, and the doctor said, I've never seen your condition go into reversal, ever. And she's 92. So that's really exciting. Okay, right. Wendy asked, now that we're all spending all this time at home and we're working in the yard, what do you recommend for muscles suffering from overdoing it?
Oh, that's a good question. So carnosine is an antioxidant that helps to rebuild muscle tissue. So that's why a lot of people that are athletes use it, because you get that lactic acid burn, and that's muscles kind of like tearing apart and then rebuilding. Well, that carnosine is the antioxidant that helps to do the repairing, accelerate it. Okay, so it's really, that's probably a good patch. X39 would probably be a great patch. That combination would be ideal for that kind of situation.
Great, great. Someone asked us, Kathy asked us to repeat the promotion that's going on. And would you talk about that, please?
Okay, sure. X39 for the regular price, the glutathione for only $40, and then a free pack of glutathione. So you're going to pay $140 and get one of these and two of these. A very, very significant reduction in the cost. So this goes from today to Sunday. So make sure if you have any questions, you call customer service if you need help, because they're not there after Friday afternoon.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Ellen Shapiro said, how would you suggest a practitioner who is new to Lifewave begin? Start with themselves or family, or just go ahead and start patching their patients?
Well, that's a personal preference, man. I mean, like, you're hearing all these great stories. I couldn't hold back. I mean, I'm kind of the guy that's going to go for it and go all out, but everybody's got a different way of doing things. If you want to be more reserved, conservative, and start slow, make sure you love it. Sure. So there's no really right or wrong. I'm a go for it kind of guy. So I would just say, go ahead and get the results, because I think that's the most important part of Lifewave is it's so exciting. It's infectious. And when you get that kind of momentum and energy with your people, it drives you. I mean, it changed our whole life so much that I'd never seen anything or witnessed anything in our practice. So we were really excited about sharing that because it motivated us and it like fed our fire.
Beautiful. So Peggy would love to know, and I think lots of other people on the line of, how do you explain this business model?
Okay, so
That's a big question.
You're probably better at this than I am.
I'd be happy to if you want me to.
Go ahead, Robin, please do.
Dr. Nicholas and I are a great team because he's the master at the patching, and I have a background in this profession. And like I said, once you fall in love with network marketing, there's no known cure, because as he said, it's an opportunity to create the lifestyle of your dreams. So you can do business with who you want, when you want, what you want, and it's quite beautiful. So in this business, this is an opportunity to leverage your time, leverage your resources, and have, like I said, I started a year ago, end of February, and now I have almost 20,000 people on my team. A bunch of them haven't activated yet because they're going to do that soon. But so I've got 10,000 people that have been touched by this business, and I would have never been able to do that. We all build 2 teams. You personally enroll people and share with people. There's many different dimensions to the compensation plan that reward you for the behavior we want to duplicate. Different than being a healthcare practitioner or a conventional business where you're an expert, it's a different business model. So I really invite you to learn and reach out to your sponsor and your upline, the person who introduced you, to ask them how they learned about this business. There's many wonderful books and tapes and audios. If you're brand new to network marketing, I recommend you listen to Darren Hardy, Making the Shift. You can find that on YouTube. It's well worth it. He talks about the mindset that's necessary to be effective in this business. Different than conventional business where you're the expert. I mean, you've been highly trained as a practitioner. You have an expertise and you share that. That's why people come to see you. In this business, what we do instead is we don't share our expertise. We point to a tool. The success in this business model comes from simplicity and duplication. So we've designed a very simple success system based on hundreds of years of success from some of the top networking professionals to make it as simple as possible for people to get into an income earning situation as quickly as possible. I've been full-time in network marketing for 20 plus years, my husband 30 plus years. I've been in many different companies. This is the easiest, most fun I've ever had. It's the most lucrative I've ever been in. And most importantly, I've been able to change people's lives dramatically, simply, safely, naturally, and affordably. And we have some wonderful videos when you're ready, but basically, from your sharing, it's a caring and sharing business. And we train you every step of the way. We've got the resources to support you. Basically the simplest thing we do is say to people exactly what the person said to me. My friend Kai, he said, there's a breakthrough in affordable stem cell activation. And I kind of went, I want it. Now, the average person is going to take more exposures than me. I was just ready and willing and looking for what he had to offer. So just know that if you say that I've discovered a historic breakthrough in affordable stem cell activation, people are going to say, I want to know more. A lot of people are going to say that. I've never had conversions like I have in this company. And then we have a tool to share them. We have a wonderful app that everybody gets for free, and you can just go on your phone and send them a tool. We have many different tools, or you can send them to liveyounger.com, and there's a few short videos. I say, I'm going to send you a 3-minute video. When in the next day or so can you watch it? And then you set up a follow-up call. The video does the work. and the rest is history. So that's a brief overview, and the opportunity when you introduce someone, they buy a kit, and the larger the kit, the greater the value. It's not important which kit you buy. It is important that you get started and you plug into our system, and we will support you every step of the way with our Getting Started program. We have training and support calls. We have so many things to really, you have a team of people where you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Okay, that's a brief overview, and I want to take a few more questions here. Wendy, when using any of the patches, it's 12 on, 12 off, correct? So if using immune support protocol during the day, don't you use the glutathione and carnosine again at night for the eyes? Kind of pick and choose which to wear when?
Yeah, that's a great question. So you just want to make sure you're always giving your body a 12 on an off period. So you can still have a different patch on, it's a different frequency. So the body doesn't recognize it the same way. So it's a personal preference. You know, if you're trying to support your immune system right now, that's probably the most important thing. You know, that could be during the day or at night, whichever works for you the best. But at night, eyesight issues, put it over the eyes, and you can definitely get more benefits for your eyesight.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And Lori asked, what do you do when people say they don't feel the results quickly?
I educate them on it's a process. Healing's a process, not an event. Anything you're going to do takes time. I don't sell anything I do as a practitioner, as a chiropractor, one time and you're healed. I say you're going to do things slowly in increments, okay? And so I like to undersell it and let it over deliver and say you want to just give this a minimum of a month. That's why they give you a 30-day money back guarantee. If you're a preferred customer, you get a 90-day money back guarantee, so that way you can encourage, do it for 90 days. You know, what do you got to lose? And then you want to track your benefits, because a lot of times you'll get changes that you're not expecting. Like the gentleman with the spleen thing, he probably doesn't feel that unless there's real pain. Otherwise, you don't feel that. So lab work shows it, CT scans will show it, but most people aren't doing those kind of things. So you want to tell them it's going to help work on a lot of underlying issues that you don't always feel. And that means the healing energy is going to those priorities first, and then it's going to eventually go to where you want it to go. So you kind of want to be patient. But again, just say, let's do this for at least a month. And, you know, you can work with them over that time period, but try to give it at least that 30, 60, 90-day window.
Thank you so much. Yes, something I recommend to people, I do say give it 90 days. And David Schmidt says with X39, 75% of people feel something in the first 24 hours and 85% in the first week. It took me a week, but I know people that it took 2 months. You know, I have a friend who had a frozen, I think it was a torn rotator cuff, and it took her 7 weeks. And if she would have given up after the 30 days, she would have missed out on the benefit and has become one of our top leaders. So I recommend starting people simply with X39 unless they have acute symptoms. As practitioners, that's why people come to see you. They've got acute symptoms and they need your support. And the Preferred Customer Program is a beautiful program that gives a 90-day risk-free guarantee. I don't quite understand this question. If I forget to take off my X39 and other patches at night, so much energy, I sleep only a few hours. I don't quite see the question in that. Do you understand?
I think the question is, remember to take off your X39. I mean, that's the answer.
Yeah, well, some people actually, because it's probably the hardest part of the whole deal is to remember to put it on and take it off. Yeah. So I know lots of people that set their phone alarm and it just is a reminder. And so, oh, it was just a share. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Ellen. That's great. And last question, how do you explain pain that went away and came back in an hour?
Okay. This happens sometimes, not often, but it can happen. So again, the body's going to heal in priority. So say like this is your pain spot here, and this thing gets cleared out by the pathway of the way the patch works. Then you have a new pathway pattern, and it kind of peel this layer off, and then it could be another pathway, and you're trying to get ultimately to this point. So it's kind of like a up and down kind of thing. So what that means is your body's going to go heal this priority, then it's going to go heal this priority, then it's going to come back to this priority. So when there's more patterns of things going on, the body's going to sometimes retrace backwards through some of these things, and you might feel things that were we're not there, and then they're there, and then they disappear. It's kind of a yo-yo, but that's kind of the transformation that the body kind of goes through from old cells turning into new cells. It's like a butterfly, a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. There are some growing pains on some people, and you just have to understand there's nothing going in the body. There's no drug, no chemical. It's non-transdermal. It's just helping the body heal with light. And sometimes when you have pain go away, your body acclimates to that new you, and you feel amazing. And then if it comes back with a vengeance. It just came back to where it was, or maybe not as much, but you're not used to having pain all of a sudden. So your body is now reacclimated to that new you, and then it feels worse than ever if it comes back. So be patient, play with combinations, play with patch placements, and you usually should get that to fix itself.
Okay, and I think we need to take this last question because it is really important. How would you explain, and this is from Kathy Ziola, how would you explain an increase in pain when you start using the patches?
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, it's like nothing's going in the body. If it's too much, take it off. So sometimes people go through a detox reaction. Increased pain is just the body starting to basically, because so many people have pain, a lot of us do, and you just get used to it. You numb out to it. So you have a higher pain threshold. So what you're doing is now becoming more sensory aware of how much you have. And I mean, I've had people where I've adjusted them and they said I made them worse. And I only use a non-force adjustment technique. So I barely even touch them. Well, how could I make them worse? I'm moving, releasing blocks of energy. And when you move them, things start to circulate and start the healing process. So again, you're now acting and playing the part as a practitioner and dealing with what we all deal with on so many levels. The patches are just going to just be the same. And that's the frustrating part, because you only want it to feel great or nothing, but sometimes it can be one of those things. So I tell people, take it off if it's too uncomfortable. If you can work through it, it usually goes away. Drink plenty of water.
Great. So that's, we're going to conclude with this because we're at the top of the hour, and I want to thank all of you for being here the entire time. We had 50 people on. It was amazing. Dr. Nicholas, your wisdom, your experience, your servant heart is just a gift to our entire community. And Lori, thank you again for initiating this and bringing on all these wonderful people. I will send out this recording. And again, this is an invitation to all of you to really take a serious look at incorporating this into your practice. And we'll talk more about that in the future. We're going to be holding these weekly while we're all at home. And then we're going to take a look and seeing if we'll do this once a month. We're just getting started, and thank you for your time. Really appreciate all of you, and we will complete our recording right now.